I want you to imagine this. You're getting ready for that key pivotal conversation. That conversation that might land you a client, that presentation in front of a group of your potential clients that might land you a gig, your podcast, your website launch, whatever it is. You're getting ready to talk about what you do to one person or a group of people. You put all kinds of thought into what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, the words. You've created a compelling message. Give your presentation, you have the conversation, and then nothing. Absolutely nothing happens. This has happened to me more than once, and it's probably happened to you as well. Very infrequently do people go from having one conversation with us, seeing us present one time in front of a group, listening to us as a guest on one podcast, to picking up that phone. I want to be your client. Sign me up for your 3-month program today. That just doesn't happen. What it takes is a series of steps, smart next steps to bring them into our world. And that's what today's episode is about. This is episode 5 and step number 5 of a series of 6. Just to remind you, if you're tuning into this for the very first time, we're doing a 6-episode series on how to build a successful coaching business. This is step 5, smart next steps. Having a next step that you've already chosen, you've already designed, not leaving it to chance, the chance that somebody's going to say, "How can I find out more about you, Laura? What would be the next step to working with you, Laura?" Having something smart that you have in mind before you go into the conversation or before you go into a presentation is key. Because you can be seeding that next step into your entire conversation. There are some philosophies out there that I hear over and over and over again, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I see way too many coaches spending way too much time on. And it's this philosophy that if, let's say, your coaching program costs over $1,000, that then you should probably have $100 program or offering, like a course. Go build a course for $100. And then you should have like a $24. And so that way you can go from free conversation to the 24 to the 100 to the 1,000. It has become, it's not that this methodology never works. It's the problem that it has become such generalized advice that you think you need to do it, and you are sitting there racking your brain trying to come up with a $100 offer and a $24 offer, and then build all the sales pages, lead pages, all the course content to hand out, make it valuable. Because really what you want them to do is buy the $1,000 plus coaching program. So then why aren't we selling the $1,000 plus coaching program? Why are we spending all of our time selling $24 and $100 so that we cross our fingers and hope that they eventually get to the 1,000? There's also this belief almost that if you sell them the $100, that they're going to make it all the way through the course, and when you offer that coaching program at the end, they're going to be in, which also just isn't true. Not for a lot of us. Smart next steps aren't just generalized next steps. They have to be smart. They have to be built for you. What is the goal behind your next steps? Think about your funnel. That's what this is basically called. Your funnel process. And the next steps you want people to take from the time that they're a stranger to your premium package. Think about all those steps that you want them to take. What's the purpose of those? Can you articulate that? I'll tell you what the purpose is, because it's really simple from a marketing strategist point of view, my point of view. The purpose of those steps is to build trust, not to educate, not to give them a little bit of results and then they're going to want a little bit more. The purpose is to build trust. How quickly are your next steps building trust right now? Right? So if you go onto a podcast as a guest and you offer a 3 tips to why download. Well, that just sounds like information. Information you probably covered during the podcast. I'm not sure why I would go there. And then if I do go there, how have you created that 3-step guide to build trust in you? Is it created right now to just give information or give action steps to them? Or does it build trust into working with you? For a very long time, my funnel went from, hi, I just met you, and this sounds crazy, but let's do your branding. Okay, baby. Straight into a branding package or a brand alignment call is what I called it. It was 1 hour. I would overlook all your marketing. I'm going to tell you what your brand is. Let's go. That 1 hour's time frame of giving away those services, showing them this difference, the people that I was working with at the time, showing them where their marketing needed alignment, was enough so that they said, yeah, absolutely, I want to work with Laura. And they signed up for the multiple $1,000 package I offered. 1 hour. I built trust. At some point, that program stopped working. And it didn't stop working because it wasn't a good idea. It stopped working because I needed to get clear that the offer that I had was so much more than branding. And so I now have a couple of steps for people to take. If you go onto my website right now, we just redid the website about a month ago. If you go onto my website right now, you will find a couple of smart next steps right up towards the top. One is my quiz. The other 2 that you'll run into right away are a guide that I put together on how to hire a great marketer and how to not waste your money on a business coach and hire the right one. If you go there and you download those and you look at those guides, it's not just blah, 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 blah. I give you the questions. In the interview, ask this question. If their response doesn't explain X, Y, and Z, if they try to tell you blah, 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 that's a red flag that this might not be the right marketer. Now, ultimately, do I want to be your marketer and your business coach? For sure, but not for everybody. I know I'm not right for everybody. Not all of you who are listening will work with me, and that's okay. But here's a guide that shows you questions to ask during the interview and responses that are yay, good ones, or red flags. When you're interviewing for a marketing strategist or a business coach. Now, that is a great trust builder for my clients because I'm giving them a behind the scenes look. I'm giving them knowledge. I'm also offering them at the end some of my services. Yay me. It's a trust builder. Here's one more thing to think about when it comes to next steps. One of the reasons that brand activation call, that brand alignment call stopped working is because I got so great at doing that so quickly that I started to talk about their messaging, and then I started to talk about this, and I started to give them too much on that first trust building free touch point. When I had multiple people tell me, you should charge for this, I thought, maybe I should charge for this. Maybe that's why it stopped leading into as many closed packages. And so now I've bundled it with some of my other abilities to look at your strategy, abilities to look at your next steps into my 90-minute strategy session. And I do charge for it. But it started out as a freebie that I gave people. You can give away too much in these trust building exercises as well. And then by giving away too much, people start to go, there's something weird about this one. I'm not sure I can trust her when you give away too much. So be cautious with your generosity. If you're going to give away a very generous next step for a low cost or a no cost, make sure that you explain why. Make sure that you have an articulable reason. When I'm a guest on somebody else's podcast, I frequently will give them my Stop Calling Yourself a Coach course. One reason why is because it's a course that's already created. It's already made. It doesn't cost me anything more to have more people in it. It is a lead generator. It is very generous gift. And frequently on those podcasts, I will get people, as I guessed, I get multiple people to sign up for that course. But I explain to them that the reason I'm giving away this generous gift is because I'm so tired of coaches not understanding marketing and then not getting paid for the marketing or not getting paid for the coaching that they're exquisite and they're so good at because they just don't have the right words that connect with their clients. So I made a course so that I can help people with that initial introduction. Go check out my Stop Calling Yourself a Coach course. I give people a reason that I am being generous so that they can trust that process. What are your smart next steps? Do you have any? And are they working? If they are working, then clients are landing in your coaching program. If they are not working, you do not need to go make more lead generators, more guides, more courses, more things. You need to figure out, right? It's about doing it smart. So how do we lead them to the place we want them to go? If you need some help, again, this is part of what I do all the time with my coaches. But what I can give to you is a connection and direction call. That is my 20-minute call that I do. And we can focus specifically in on your next steps, your lead generators, and your funnel during that call if you like. And I'll tell you what I see from my perspective. Sometimes having that outsider perspective is key. To sign up for one of those connection direction calls, I need you to take the endotype quiz first. And as you sign up, send me some copies of the lead generators, those quizzes and guides and courses that you are giving away or you are charging very little for, so that I can do my homework and we can have a very productive 20-minute conversation. I look forward to talking with you soon. Tune in next week for the dreaded S word. Sales. Step number 6 is selling with compassion and power.